Hence, I failed to get you guys updated information between qualifying, before the race, right after the race. Things were a bit turbulent, and first of all, since I had massive support from my girlfriend, we decided to have a walk first afterwards, and then eventually drive home before, yeah, actually getting out more vlogs about the fact how this race went. Now, you guys may be thinking, oh god, if he's saying about things about being a bit turbulent and then having a walk first, things must have not been too good. Well, 50-50. First of all, qualifying was a big mess. Like, we were going into a 20-minute qualifying session, but after 10 minutes, my simulator and also the simulator of the other guy with me in Zurich said session over. And we were sitting there in the grass, and I was like, everyone's still going. I was looking at the live stream, which was on the very left-hand side of my rig, and I was like, hey, they still got 6 minutes on the clock. And I was looking at my sim, hey, there is still 6.5 minutes clock running, and on the other side it said session over. I'm like, guys, something's wrong here. And the big problem is with no one having free practice on the event day. So if we look at last event 4 weeks ago, we had at least 10-minute free practice, then a 15-minute quali, then a 30-minute race. Due to Corona and everything's being sorted in groups, no one had free practice. We just went into a 20-minute qualifying straight away. And, it's just been given 10 minutes with no preparation whatsoever. That's a bit of a bad thing, is it? And you guys may have seen the stream of today's morning where we were trying to get, more track time, more affiliation with the car, and more mileage in. Guys, it took me 3 corners and I was saying, oh shit, whatever this is, it has nothing, but absolutely nothing to do with what I did at home. So, every minute was very vital, every minute was valuable. So after those 10 minutes, we were sitting 1.7 seconds off the pace in dead last position. Effectively, though, the guys have managed the situation well, according to my understanding. So Julian, the other guy, and me, we got an additional 10-minute session for us both alone, where we could run our qualifying to the end and then be sorted into the grid afterwards. Sadly, I fucked up so many laps on this second qualifying attempt. You're not being in the rhythm, stuff like that. On the other hand, those 10 additional minutes were vital in order to learn more about the behavior of the car. There was a bump in turn 5, and I was in the first session. I was going around like I was leaving the perfect racing line for like 15 meters. Like, really did to really avoid that curve, like the guys do in Monaco on the way down to Mirabeau. And luckily then, with my session being over at first, I sat in the off-track area right at that point and was looking at what was going on track, and like, everyone is taking the standard racing line. Some of them nearly lost the car, but no one really did, apart from me. Like, I lost it literally every time I get there. And I was like, okay, there needs to be something with it. But yeah, effectively, those 10 minutes afterwards, I tried 2 or 3 different lines in there, and I finally found a line really where I could be on the racing line, not losing the car, not losing the 1 or 2 tenths by taking the additional line. Anyway, I improved my lap time. I wasn't 1.7 seconds off the pace in the end, but 1.6. So I improved 1/10 only. On the final 2 or 3 laps, I spun out, but I always had a delta for like 3 or 4 tenths improvement. So P8 was possible. However, I was sitting there dead last, P11. I knew the top 10 would get money. I knew we were set for nearly impossible to overtake, no DRS. And I go, oh my God, this has gone really, really well so far. Anyway, kudos to Racing Unleashed, though, trying to get a good solution in in a professional way. So, you know, despite the other guys were not allowed to take part in that 10-minute additional to us, they had the 10 minutes before, including the advantage of keeping in the rhythm for 20 full minutes. In the end, though, Julian and me, we were not disadvantaged by the additional 10-minute session, which I do appreciate and I do value. You know, there is big money involved. Every event is like 4,000. That's not enough. Must be 6,000 Swiss francs of money on the line, and you need to make sure everyone got the same preparation, everyone gets the same possibilities and chances. And with a mod or the specific car and the setup not being available to the public beforehand, but you can go there and test and pay money in order to take testing sessions, that of course is I mean, it's not unfair, you know, if I go there and pay money in order to practice, then I bought myself the advantage. It's the same like putting 50 euros into research and development for a better setup, for a better car, whatever. So that's fine to me, but on actual race day, things should be equal. And things were equal in the end. So even despite I do not know what was going on in the heads of the competitors on other locations like Kemptal and Cham, whether they were like, yeah, why are those guys now allowed doing a 10 minutes additional? But at the end, I would say, if I would be in the other group doing 20 minutes altogether and seeing other guys just had 10 minutes, I was like, yeah, it's just fair that they get that. Anyway, into the race then. I was sitting there, sitting in that car, and like, not really what I wanted, not really the performance I'd hoped for. And I just had a quick walk to the girlfriend because sadly she was not able to come into the location due to Corona shenanigans and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, babe, I'm dead last. What shall I do? And yeah, effectively, she was like, yeah, you're just going to do well. You just do your stuff and be good in the end. And I was like, yeah, okay, well, let's just try. I mean, what else are you going to do? So you're sitting here in the car, you're starting dead last, and there's 3 minutes to the grid, and you just want to go. You know, you're sitting on the grid, everyone is sitting on the grid, waiting for the 3 minutes to come down, and everyone's just to go. Anyway, I was sitting there and said, yeah, I got nothing to lose, maybe go a little bit more aggressive on the start, and let's just see what happens. Somehow make it up into P8, P9, maybe pick up on a spin, just keep it on the black stuff. And in those 20 minutes of qualifying, guys, honestly, I spun 10 or 15 times. I was spinning all over the place. So it was like, yeah, even if I survived the very first 2 or 3 laps, oh dear, those 20 with 1 laps are gonna be damn long, with 2 death traps. The final turn as well, there was a stupid bump, and every time I hit that bump, I felt like I have to counter steer. So I counter steered, then need to get off throttle, losing right to 10th, stuff like that. In the end, after like 8 or 9 tries, I really trolled my mind. I was like, whatever happens in this final turn now, you just keep the steering like stuck. Yeah, you don't turn on the steering, you don't counter steer, you don't react to the movement of the car. And you know what? The freaking car just never spun. It was the right thing to do. So that is the things you have 20 minutes to learn, and you need to maximize everything you got. You need to maximize all your abilities of being able to sort of understand what's going on. You need to adapt to the situation, you need to adapt to the pressure, you need to adapt to the car, to the setup, to everything. And I did that fairly well in the second 10 minutes. And then I was sitting there on the grid and like, okay, there is 3 or 4 points, turn 9 and 10, you don't want to go off track there, sprint up to turn 7, take that bump in the right way, final turn, just ignore the behavior of the car and do the unnatural thing and just don't counter steer at all. And guys, I did not even leave the track once in the 30-minute race. I had maybe one lap where I gone a little wide and deep into turn one, but I never spun. I had one twitchy moment. I didn't leave the track, and I was consistently fast all the time. And then the start came. So that was, in the end, magnificent. And on the start, lights went out, car bogged down. I'm like, you fucking idiot. Yeah, that's the only chance to get yourself some way up through the grid. And effectively, what happened is I went on the outside into turn one, right-hand corner, outside line. I jumped one car into P10. And then something happened at the front in turn three. So one car got off, came back, touched with another one. They both spun on the outside, and there was a full traffic jam in the right-hand lane, and I was on the left-hand lane. Into turn four, inside we go, and I was sixth. So from starting 11th, after four corners, staying clean of trouble, I was sixth. And Julien, the guy with me in the same location, he qualified in eighth. He was ahead of me, he was in fifth. And 2 laps later, he did some mistakes. I put my nose into turn one. We were side by side on the way to three. Then he overshot three, got into the grass. I got through P5. And that's where I finished. Again, still not believe it, but I finished in fifth just from keeping it clean. The guys, the top four, Michael Smiedl, Thomas Stölzel, Angelo Michel, and who was the other guy? David, the Swiss sim racer. I would butcher his surname, so I just leave it. But I do know that the Czech guys, Smiedl and Stölzel, they came here Wednesday before the race and surely got some practice session. Remember, they are kind of contracted drivers for Racing Unleashed. Then on the post-race interviews, I heard that David, who came second, also took the one or other lesson in order to practice a little bit in starting and stuff. So surely some knowledge being done there. And then Angelo Michel, I'm not sure. No, yeah, Angelo Michel, sorry. I'm not sure if he's done some practice, but I do know that usually when he goes there, and he comes from Munich, he sleeps with a teammate at Zürich. So I can imagine that he was doing some practice as well. Regardless of that, he's unnormal quick. And the top 7 in qualifying were just separated by 6 or 7 tenths, so it was incredibly close for the circumstances in this qualifying. And, you know, I had those 4 ahead, and surely there were some guys behind me that should have been in front of me after the race as well. So being 5th in the end, not losing the car in the race, just doing constant, steady driving, absolutely perfect result. P5 means 500 Schweizer Franken. That's an equivalent to like 440 euros, 450, depending on exchange rates and stuff. So all over the place, a very successful journey there to Zurich. And after the event, yeah, because my girlfriend had to wait 2 hours in the car or down before the door, I took her for a walk. Now we ordered some pizza. And now she's smiling. But yeah, I know she would have had maybe a different Sunday planned, but yeah, I'm very happy she went with me, and now I need to do some payback. So we're gonna have good pizza, we're gonna have a nice evening, and then I wish you guys a very good start into the week. Remember, tomorrow 19:30 the stream will be live with the GT Pro series at the Nürburgring. Effectively, I should still do some practice for that because I'm not really prepared. Yeah, we did a team test race last night, which didn't go too well for me, but yeah, it is what it is right now, guys. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your likes. I appreciate your comments. They will be there after the video, I'm sure. And I appreciate your time. If you do like the stuff that we do, please give this video a like, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, make this community grow. And last but not least, sorry for not being in landscape and having our width format with a big black one on your screen, but yeah, for this little vlog I think it was best to just have a portrait orientation on the camera. Guys, thank you so much for being here. Hope you enjoy your Sunday evening, and see you there next time. Goodbye.